When did you stop trying to impress your mother? I was 14 when I practiced piano until my fingers bled. Not metaphorically, actually bled. Tiny cracks opened where skin met nail, and I kept playing through the sting. I wanted to show my mom something that would finally make her see me as more than a disappointment in her shadow. She was a concert pianist who made grown men cry with her Beethoven. I thought maybe if I bled for the music like she did, she'd recognize me as hers. She didn't look up from her score sheets when I played the Chopin etude I'd been perfecting for months. Your tempo wavers in the third measure, she said. The rubato sounds forced. Again, I played it again and again. My fingers left faint red smudges on the white keys. When I finally stopped, she had already left for her evening rehearsal. I sat there in the empty room and sucked on my bleeding thumb like a child, but I kept trying. Jazz band, choir, composition classes. I learned violin because she once said piano students who only played piano were limited. I gave up sleepovers to practice, gave up dating, gave up everything that wasn't music. When friends asked why I never went out, I'd say I was busy. I didn't say I was terrified of falling further behind in the race to earn a glance. She'd walk past my practice room and pause just long enough to say, "Your vibrato is too wide," or "That crescendo is melodramatic." Never long enough for me to ask if anything sounded right. When I won second place at the state composition competition, I ran home clutching the certificate. My chest felt like it might burst. She was teaching her star pupil in the living room. The girl was 12 and already better than me. Mom glanced at my certificate between the girls' scales. "Second place is just first loser," she said. "Don't interrupt Jen's lesson." The student kept playing. I stood there holding my certificate until my arms went numb. Then I went upstairs and buried it in my closet under winter sweaters that smelled like mothballs and failure. Senior year, I made first chair flute in the regional youth orchestra. Mom had switched me to flute at 16 because clearly piano wasn't working out. The rehearsals were Saturday mornings, 2 hours away. Dad drove me while Mom taught master classes. During concerts, I'd scan the audience for her face until my eyes burned. She came twice. Both times she left at intermission. Had a real performance to attend. The breaking point came during my Juilliard audition. The night before, I sat at our piano running through my pieces. My hands shook, not from nerves, from years of trying to squeeze myself into the shape of her expectations. She walked in and stood behind me. I could smell her perfume, the same one she'd worn to every performance since I was small. "Play the Rachmaninoff," she said. I played it. Every note was precise, technically perfect, dead. When I finished, she sighed. The sound cut deeper than any criticism. "You play like a well-trained monkey," she said. "All mechanics, no soul. How did I raise a daughter who can't feel the music?" I turned around, looked at her for the first time in years. Really looked. She seemed smaller than the giant who lived in my head. "Maybe because you never taught me to feel anything but inadequate." She blinked. Her mouth opened and closed. Then she walked out. I went to the audition, sat in that sterile room surrounded by prodigies who breathed music like air while I suffocated on it. Halfway through my piece, I stopped, stood up, walked out. The judges called after me, but I kept walking. I majored in education, started teaching at an after-school program in the roughest part of town. Kids whose parents couldn't afford lessons but who wanted to learn. Their instruments were scratched and dented. They didn't care. One boy had hands too small for the violin. He adapted, made it work. When he finally played Twinkle Twinkle all the way through, he grinned so wide I thought his face might split. His mom cried at the spring recital. She'd taken off work for the first time in months. That's when I understood. He played because music was joy. I had played because I thought perfection would earn me love. Mom found out about my program from a colleague. Called me one evening. "I heard you teach now," she said. Her voice sounded older, tired. "I do." Silence stretched between us. Then, "One of my colleagues says you're good at it." I waited for the criticism, the reminder of my wasted potential. It didn't come. "I love it," I said. More silence. "I know I was hard on you," she finally said. It wasn't an apology. We both knew she'd never give one, but it was acknowledgement that she saw what she'd done, what we'd lost. "I know," I said. We hung up. I went back to planning lessons.